Oklahoma primary Tuesday will help decide our next president, of course. Two candidates are visiting the center state in the next few hours. Another is coming tomorrow. So much attention being paid to Oklahoma. And joining me now to discuss the race is TU Assistant Professor Matt Heineman. Matt, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
First of all, you were sitting there watching some of the commercials. They are literally every other commercial break for us. One of the candidates is running there. Why is Oklahoma so in play this time?
Lots of commercials. It's a true battleground state, and that's not typical terrain for Oklahoma for sure. 5 candidates could win. 3 on the Republican side, 2 on the Democratic side. It truly is wide open, and that's really, Oklahoma's the only state where that's true, I think, on Super Tuesday.
I've heard from several people that they're surprised that there's, 1, so many commercials airing here in Oklahoma, and that 2, there are so many candidates coming to visit as well. Is that surprising?
Well, it's not surprising given the polling over the last 2 weeks. It surprised me 2 weeks ago when the polls tightened up this much. But yeah, we've seen Sanders come to town. We've seen, I think Cruz has been in Oklahoma. Sanders is coming back to Oklahoma. Bill Clinton was here recently. So yeah, it's
a
it's
lot
confusing
of play.
to me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and we want to talk about the Democrats too, because the race in particular, Bernie Sanders seems to have narrowed the lead, at least, that Hillary Clinton had initially here. She won big back in 2008. What do you make of his surging in the polls here?
Bernie Sanders has sort of a Western strategy. I think we were all surprised that he tightened the polls in Oklahoma down to 2 points as recently as a couple weeks ago. He's really invested a lot of money in Oklahoma, as well as states like Minnesota, Colorado. He, of course, did not do well last night in South Carolina. He's really hoping to regain some of that momentum, and Oklahoma could be key to that. We saw a big turnout of supporters, numbering in the thousands on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thousands of people waiting outside while he was talking, hoping to get in. So if those young people come out and vote, it could be a very, very close race.
And of course, we saw that big turnout with Donald Trump when he came several weeks ago to Tulsa. How surprising, or as expected, that he's this high in the polls now?
It's very surprising. People like me, political scientists, 2 months ago, as recently as 2 months ago, thought there's no way Trump is going to actually win. He's poised for a big day on Tuesday. He's ahead in the polls here in Oklahoma. It remains to be seen how much his rough night on Thursday will impact or stanch some of that momentum. But he got a big boost on Friday when Chris Christie endorsed him seemingly out of nowhere. So
that was a big surprise, yeah.
It was a huge surprise to me and most other people, I would assume.
Do you think Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz can gain anything on him, at least here in Oklahoma, or maybe some of the states around us?
Yes, they can, and they need to.
Okay.
Like I said, this is one state where any of the 3, Trump, Cruz, Rubio, any of those 3 could win the state. They're all trying to. And if Cruz wins, that's probably an indication of a big night for him on Tuesday. If Rubio wins, that really propels him back into the race. I'm still guessing Trump is probably going to pull it out here, but it's far from certain.
A crazy race for sure. Ted Cruz is going to be here in Tulsa in not too long, and Marco Rubio will be here tomorrow, so we've got a lot to pay attention to. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Matt.
My pleasure.
And one Green Country neighborhood is looking